I can solve and graph multi-step one variable equations. So with your pen, with red, you're going to underline or circle solve and graph. With green, you're going to underline or circle one variable equations. But with your blue, I want you to circle or underline multi-step, because today that's when we start getting into different steps into solving equations. Okay? Yes, multi-step. And pretty much everything builds up on what we did yesterday. Okay? So once again, our objective for today, I can solve and graph multi-step one variable equations. Let's read together. 1, 2, 3. I can solve and graph multi-step one variable equations. So tell your neighbor, what concept are we still on today? One variable equations. Okay, so let's continue. We know what they are. I already gave you this yesterday, right? You already have the Freire model for this, right? Second thing, we know our steps. Remember the steps? And we said, as long as we remember the first key words, and we said, simplify, isolate, plot, check. Simplify, isolate, plot, check. Simplify, isolate, plot, check. Simplify, isolate, plot, check. Can you remember the steps? Okay, tell them to them backwards. See if you remember backwards. Okay, so now we have them forward and backwards, right? We already know them. So now, before I get started with this problem, which is the one that you have on your notes, let me just tell you where we came from. We came from, everybody look up, please. We started with algebraic expressions, right? Then I also showed you numerical expressions. From there, we went to having them equal one another, so now they become one variable equations. Is that correct? And then this one was specifically called one step because it only requires one step to solve. From there, we went to two-step equations. And today, we're getting into multi-step, which is more than two steps. Okay? All right, so here we go. Starting with this one. Let's do this one together, and we're going to start from the very beginning. What is my first step? Simplify. So let's read the step, and you have the notes right there next to you. Simplify each side of the equation starting with group symbols. Do we have any group symbols? It says, and combine like terms. Can we combine like terms on this side? Yes, the 8x and the negative 5x. What is 8x minus 5x? 3x. And then we bring the negative 21, the equal, and the negative 15 down. Does this look familiar? Yes, that takes us to step 2, which says isolate the variable using what? Inverse operation. So let's start with subtraction. So what is the opposite? Positive, or add 21 to each side. We're left with 3x equals negative 15 and 21, that's 6. And then at the end, the 3 is multiplying. What is the inverse of multiplication? Division. So therefore, what is 3 divided by 3? 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times x is x equals 6 divided by 3 is 2. Since I already gave you enough practice yesterday with plot and check, even for homework, right now we're just going to solve. Is that correct? Okay. All right. Everybody got the process? All right. So now, this next problem, I want you to copy it on the right-hand side. Do you see I divided the column there? Why? Because whatever I do with you, I want you to practice by yourself. So practice this one by yourself. See if you get it by yourself. On the right-hand side. Yeah. So copy this one, do this one by yourself. Here it goes, step by step. Let's do this. If you missed the steps, here they go. Step 1, simplify. Can we simplify any grouping symbols? No. Combining like terms? Yes, right here. So I'm going to combine 2x and negative 6x. That becomes negative 4x. I bring down the plus 5, the equal sign, and the 4. So from there, we know what to do. We start with addition or subtraction. Here it is. So what is the opposite of addition? We subtract 5 from each side. These cancel. We're left with negative 4x equals to, let's see, 4 and negative 5. That's a negative 1. And let's see, is the x by itself yet? No. We still have the negative 4 multiplying it. So what is the opposite of multiplication? Division. So we divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1. 1 times x is x equals negative, and the negative is the same sign, so this becomes 1/4. Or if you wrote it as a decimal, it's 0.25. Okay? And we're done. Yeah, it's a positive. Okay? So on the left side, copy this next one, please. All right, let's do this one together. Step 1, simplify each side of the equation. Start with grouping symbols. So let's see, is there a grouping symbol? Yes. Let's see inside of the grouping symbol. Can we simplify inside? No. However, what do we have right outside? A 5. That means we can distribute the 5 to each term. So what is 5 times p? 5p. What is 5 times negative 2? Negative 10. And when we bring down the equal and the negative 15. Does this look familiar? Yes. So let's continue. See if you can continue without me. So step 2 says isolate the variable by using inverse operations. So solve for p, please. So we start where there's addition or subtraction right here. So we add 10 to each side. We're left with 5p equals to negative 5. Is that correct? Yes. The 5 is multiplying, so the inverse is to divide by 5 both sides. 5 divided by 5 is 1. This is p. What is negative 5 divided by 5? That's negative 1. Okay? All right. On the right-hand side, copy this next one. Okay, let's do this one together. Here we go. Step 1, simplify each side of the equation. Start with grouping symbols. Can we combine like terms inside? No, the 4 has a variable and the 8 do not combine. Okay? However, is there a coefficient in front of the parentheses? A 1, so this becomes a negative 1. So what is negative 1 times 4? Negative 4y. What is negative 1 times positive 8? Negative 8. Bring everything else down. The equal sign, the negative 20, and don't forget over here the 10y. So we already did grouping symbols. Can we combine like terms? Yes, right here, the 10y and the negative 4y. So what is 10 minus 4y? Positive 6y. Bring down the negative 8, the equal, and the negative 20. This looks familiar, doesn't it? Okay, finish it off by yourself, please. All right, let's see. By looking at it, we have a subtraction right here, so the inverse is to add 8 to each side. I bring down the 6y equals negative 20 plus 8 becomes what? Negative 12. 6 is multiplying. The inverse is to divide by 6. Divide by 6. 6 over 6 is 1. So 1 times y is y. Negative 12 divided by 6, that's negative 2. Hands if you got negative 2. Okay? All right. Now, Some of us are struggling right now with the pluses and minuses, right? So make sure over the weekend you go to the YouTube channel, visit addition and subtraction of real numbers so you can remember the rules, because we're going to be using this entire chapter and the entire chapter that follows a lot. We're going to use it throughout the entire course, but basically these next two chapters. So make sure you're familiar with them. Okay, let's continue. On the left side, copy this down. Okay, let's do this one together. So step one, simplify. And we're going to start with our grouping symbol. Do we have a grouping symbol? Yes, it's the division sign, right? Or the fraction bar. So I'm going to focus on the numerator. Can I simplify the numerator anymore? No. How about the denominator? No. However, let me show you something. Everybody look up to the screen, please. Look at this. If I was to cover this, do you know how to solve that? Yes, which means, what do I need to do? I need to get rid of that 3, don't I? Okay, so what is a 3 doing? It's dividing, so what is the opposite? Multiply, so we're going to multiply times 3 here. And whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. So do you guys see here the lazy 1? 3 over 3 is 1. So what do we have left? 2x plus 1 equals, what is 7 times 3? 21. All right, finish it, please. So from there, this is what you should have done. We have addition right here, so the opposite is to subtract 1 from each side. We're left with 2x equals 20. The 2 is multiplying, so the inverse is to divide. 2 over 2 is 1. 1 times x is x. 20 divided by 2 is 10. Okay? So, on the right-hand side, copy this next one, and you do this one by yourself. See what you get. There it is. 7 equals 3x minus 4 over 2. Okay, let's see. So, step 1. Grouping symbols. We can't do anything on the numerator or denominator, but we have this 2. Therefore, the 2 is dividing, so I'm going to multiply both sides times 2. Here's what is 2 over 2? 1. We're left with 3x minus 4 equals 14. Is there addition or subtraction? Yes, right here. So the opposite is to add 4 to each side. We're left with 18 equals 3x. The 3 is multiplying. What is the opposite? Divide by 3, divide by 3. 3 over 3 is 1. 1 times x is x. 18 divided by 3 is 6. Okay, so we're done with step 2. Notice that we haven't done the plot and check. That I'm going to leave you for homework so that you can check your work. Here, since we're doing it together, I'm just making sure that we're going through the process. Yes. Copy this next one on the left side. If it doesn't fit, turn over to the next side. Solve 7n minus 2 equals 5n plus 6. Okay, pens down, writing utensils down, eyes up here on the screen, please. Here we go. If you blink or if you turn somewhere else, you're going to miss it. Here we go. It says, step 1, simplify each side. Can I combine like terms or anything here? No. Can I combine like terms or anything on this side? Do I have any grouping symbols or combine like terms? No. Okay. However, who notices that we have a variable on one side and the same kind of variable on the other side? That means we need to get them together to one side. Is that correct? So check this out. So when I go to step 2, in order to isolate the variable, and if I have variables on each side of the equation, I want you to write right there on your notes, right? Start with the smallest, not the smallest, or the smallest variable. Start with the smallest variable. Okay. So whenever we have variables on both sides and we don't have any more simplification to do, we look at it. Which one of these two is the smallest value? 5n. What sign is in front of the 5n? Positive. So what is the opposite of positive 5n? Negative 5n. So you do negative 5n. Whatever we do to one side, we do to the other, and you align it. You're just paying attention right now. You align it. So therefore, 5n minus 5n cancels. I bring down the 6. 7n minus 5n, that's 2n minus 2. Does this look familiar? Okay, copy that and finish it off, please. Okay, so next thing you should have done, we have a subtraction here. The inverse is to add 2 to each side. These cancel. We're left with 2n equals 8. So the 2 is multiplying. The inverse is to divide by 2. Divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 times n is n. Equals 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay? All right, so on the right-hand side, copy this next one. Copy that one, please. And do that one by yourself. Solve the equation 5b plus 2 equals 3b plus 8. So here goes the process. I'm going to start with step 1, simplify each side. I can't. There's no grouping symbols. So therefore, I start with the smallest variable, which is 3. What is the opposite? A negative 3b. And I do that to each side. These cancel. We're left with 8 equals 2b plus 2. Next, there's addition here. The opposite is to subtract 2 from each side. I subtract 2. This becomes 2b. I bring this down. Equals, what is 8 minus 2? That's 6. At the end, the 2 is multiplying. What is the inverse? Divide by 2. Divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 times b is b. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, let's continue. Here it goes. You can copy that anywhere you want. See if you can do that one by yourself. It's the same process now with decimals. Put it wherever you want, this one. Okay. Here we go. Starting with simplification. Do we have grouping symbols? No. Combine like terms? No. What is my smallest variable? 0.3. So I'm going to subtract 0.3y from each side. These cancel. We're left with 0.5 equals to 0.4y. Because we're subtracting, right? And I bring down the minus 0.3. Do I have addition or subtraction? Yes. Yes. All right, so here's subtraction. The inverse is to add 0.3, add 0.3 to each side. These cancel. We're left with 0.8 equals 0.4y. So 0.4 is multiplying, is that correct? So the inverse is to divide by 0.4. Both sides, 0.4. 0.4 divided by 0.4 is 1. So 1 times y is y. Now check this out. If I move the decimal point once here, and I move it here once, don't we get rid of the decimal? And we get rid of the 0, right? So what's left? 8 divided by, what is 8 divided by 4? 2. There it is. Okay. All right, here we go. Copy this next one down, please. Yes. Sure. Yeah. All right, copy that one, please. Okay, guys. So for this one, just to get you started, for this one, Oh, sorry. For this one, all you have to do we have, do we have grouping symbols? Yes. We can't combine, so therefore I need to multiply by distributing inside, so this becomes negative 35. Negative 5 times negative 2, that's positive 10a. I bring down the negative 1. However, let's look at the other side. Can I combine like terms over here? Yes. We can combine the negative 6 and the positive 4. That becomes what? Negative 2a. And I bring down the 4 down. Are we done simplifying this side? This side over here, yes. How about this side right here? No, we need to combine this one and this one. This becomes negative 36 plus 10a equals 4 minus 2a. Does this look familiar? Yes, so make sure you finish that. For homework, hold on. What page what? 101, and you need to do 1 through 22 all. Turning your homework on your way out, guys. Have a good one. Enjoy your homework. See you guys on Monday.